We are here at an undisclosed spot in North Tacoma. This is the actual lair of the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee blog. The owner, Laurie Cinotto, has allowed us to come in and meet her brand new pack of tiny Siamese kittens. So let's go. Hi. How did you get started doing this?
Well, we started fostering 5 years ago. Met a neighbor who was fostering, so she kind of introduced us to the whole experience, and we ended up adopting one of her kittens, who's Charlene, our permanent resident cat. Our friend Kim is her name. She was a flight attendant, and so she was only home half the time, so she needed someone to help with the fostering. So we started schlepping the kittens back and forth. When she was gone, they were with us, and when she was here, they were with them. And so we did that for about a year, and then eventually moved on to just foster on our own.
What is the process like? Like, where do you find the kittens?
Well, they come from the Humane Society of Tacoma-Pierce County. So they come to us usually when they're around 3 to 4 weeks old, usually when they're weaned from mom, and then they stay with us until they're adoptable. And then we find them homes, and out the door they go.
The reaction of people, like, when did you know other people besides your friends were reading the blog?
You know, at first it was just our friends. I'd check my stats and there'd be like maybe 10 or 15 people, you know, from Tacoma. After it was mentioned on Cute Overload, which is a big website, then everything kind of, you know, I think that first day it was like 8 or 10,000. So yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And now we get about that much a day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day, yeah.
Can you talk about sort of the culture that has come out of the blog, the itty bitty kitty culture?
You know, I never expected when I started the blog that it would be more than, you know, finding homes for kittens. I thought it would stop at that, but, you know, but then it just started growing and we started getting a, you know, following from around the country and now the world. And
you don't have any hot debates about cat care?
No, not usually. There's some topics that stir people up a little bit, but I try my best to avoid that, just really so it just remains positive and people could always, you know, visit the blog and feel good, you know.
So what are the different ways that people interact with the blog and with each other?
Most of it I see happening on Facebook. Charlene has, you know, a few thousand Facebook friends, and then I've seen them become friends with each other, and so there's just lots of, you know, going back and forth, you know, in the comments section. So that's where I see it happening most. And then on the comments on the blog too, that, you know, we'll see it there. But I know for a fact that, you know, people have like literally, you know, met each other, you know, through the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee, and, you know, friendships were forged. Yeah.
How did you get the idea to start trying to use the kittens to raise funds for the Humane Society? Was that natural?
You know, it just kind of happened. It was very spontaneous. I received some information on the fundraiser that they were doing. It's called Dogathon. They do it every year in July. And I was sitting on the couch, started reading through it, and I said, oh, we should do this. I think when we first kicked it off, I set the goal at, I think it was $3,000, and then just within a couple of days we met that, and so I just kept, you know, kind of letting it creep up there. It's like, all right, 5,000, okay,
so you
10.
kept raising it, and they kept exceeding it.
Yeah, and yeah, it all happened really fast, and it was very surprising, and it just kind of made me aware at that point of like who the people were, and, you know, how supportive they were. It was shocking, but, you know, in a very good way.
So what was the reaction from the Humane Society when this girl with this blog comes back and you're like, I have $23,000 for you?
Well, they were pretty excited because, you know, you could do a lot for the cats with that much money. So yeah, they were kind of surprised too. I mean, everybody there was watching it, you know, the total rise, and I go down to the shelter and they'd be like, 8,000, you know, 10,000. Yes. Anyway,
the kitties get a new scratching post.
Yep. Yeah, so they were excited and, you know, just really behind it too.
So what do they do with the money? Do you know, or does it just go for operating, or do they do special?
During the fundraiser, we have days that are designated for a specific cause. Like we'll do one for spay and neuter. So we'll do one day for the emergency pet food bank. So all the money we raise that day will go to buy, you know, cat food and cat litter and all that for the food bank. And so some of it will go to specific things, but a lot of it will just go to general operations, you know, but just for the cats. It all goes to the cats. It's not for the dogs. It all goes for the cats.
Let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
This is 100% for the cats.
Yep.
So what do you make of the success of your blog and like the broader context of like cats on the internet? Like everybody knows that cats are huge on the internet. Why do you think that is? And why do you think cat people full disclosure of which I am one. Why do you think we're so excited to look at cats and to share our cats online?
Well, I think, for years, forever, people have been denied that. People who own cats kind of, it's a private thing. You don't take them to cat parks and have them interact with other cats. It's kind of a private thing. So I think the internet just allowed people to put them out there and share them with the world. So
we're all out of the kitty closet now. We're all sharing.
Yep.
So we haven't talked at all yet about Charlene, who is possibly the star of this show. Can you tell me a little bit about Charlene's role in raising the kitty?
She does interact with them a lot. She likes to bathe them and play with them, and she loves eating their food. But no, she is a big part of it. I think she helps show the kittens boundaries, and it's good though because there's a good chance they're moving to a home with another adult cat, and so that kind of teaches them a little lesson, and might make the little transition easier because of Charlene. So yeah, she is definitely a big part of it.
And her online persona, like her personality, like she has such a following. Like, how many Twitter followers does she have now?
I think it's around 3,000.
And what do you think she makes of the kitties coming, staying, leaving? Like, do you think she's cool with that? Do you think she misses them?
I don't think she misses them. I think she just kind of accepts, like, this is how it is. Kittens come, kittens go.
So how is it for you having the kittens come in and then leave? Do you get sad? You must get attached.
Sometimes, yeah. It was definitely harder at first when we first started fostering the first few litters. I mean, Craig didn't cry, but I stopped. He just rolled with it. But definitely the more we do it, the easier it gets. But every once in a while, there is a kitten that does, tug at your heartstrings, and it's hard to say goodbye, but that's just the deal. You have to, and then you get more, and you don't forget about them. But,
So do any of these kittens have names yet?
Only one. Actually, these guys just moved in this week, so I haven't got to know them really well enough to name them, but we always give them a last name, and these guys were a little scrawny when they moved in, so they were named the Smalls. That's their last name. And so
Smalls.
The one on my shoulder is Louis Small, but his nickname is Shrimp Louis because
he's so little.
Because he's the scrawniest one in the bunch.
How do you set up the structure of the fundraiser? Like, I've seen it on the blog, but how would you describe it?
And we just try to keep it fun, and I set up a little telethon set, and I have tiny little telephones, and I pose the kittens on the set. So it's effective, and I think people do appreciate the lightheartedness of it and not the sad stories,
Everybody is probably wondering, like, how do you eat? Like, there's not a salary being generated by the itty bitty kitties. So how does that work?
I do generate a little bit of income through the kittens, advertising on the blog, working with Getty Images, a stock photography company. Also, I've made products. I package sparkle balls, which are every cat's favorite toy, available at
How has your work life changed from before Itty Bitty Kitty Committee to after?
Yeah, well, I did drop a big part of what I was doing before. For many years, I did flowers for events, and so I was doing that, and then I was doing crafts, and then I was doing cats. And about 4 years ago, I decided that something had to give because there just wasn't time in my day for all of it. And so I made the smart move to cut out the things that paid the best and follow my dreams.
So is that the advice that you would give to other people who are pursuing their passion and pursuing their career? Just give up the thing that makes money and go after the passion?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Also, I think that good things happen because I did focus my energy on the things that I was most interested in and cared about the most, and eliminated the stressful part and the part that I really, truly didn't enjoy.
What's the next step for you?
Well, I think just more of the same, and I just want to try to do more with my cat photographs and get them out there on in other ways and other products, and just started working with a publisher on an Itty Bitty Kitty Committee book. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, so that's in the works right now. And
so is this a novelization? What will the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee book be?
Well, the book is with Roaring Brook Press, which is a young adult and children's publisher. And what we're going to do with the first book is kind of, some content from the blog, some pictures and anecdotes, but then also mixed with some practical information.
How can someone replicate this for their own passion?
Yeah, well, I think I just discovered in this process that it was really easy to do something that I loved and then have it make a difference, in people's lives in a small way, but in a way,
So, do you have any tips about getting more Twitter followers? How do you keep your tail so fluffy? So how do you think the podcast went? Do you think I did okay? It was my first one.
Right. Okay.